And I do believe we are live. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, world. Welcome to Thursday, 9 a.m. Flow. I tuned in just a couple of minutes early just to get started. Hi, kitty. I have made wonderful friends with my roommate, Kat. She sat on my lap yesterday for like hours. It was quite wonderful. I learned that she really enjoys when I sing in my super high voice. There's your little tail. Okay, goodbye. So I would like to begin the class today with a mudra. I have chosen to face the beautiful sunny window in my living room, which was just totally, happenstance. And then I opened my lovely little mudra book here, and it opened right to what's known as the Pushan Mudra, which is dedicated to the sun god and the god of nourishment. So I thought that was highly appropriate, and so I would like you all to start standing today. And while you're standing, I would like you to, if you feel so inclined, to incorporate this mudra into your Tadasana this morning. So standing up nice and tall, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. If you'd like to use this Pushan Mudra, it is a right hand and a left-handed formation. So with the right hand, the tips of the thumb, index finger, and middle finger are on top of each other. So it kind of looks like this. That's in your right hand. And then the left hand looks like this. So your ring finger and your middle finger coming to the top of the thumb. So with both hands like this, it's called the Pushan Mudra. This mudra symbolizes accepting and receiving with the gesture of the one hand, and then letting things flow and giving and letting go with the gesture of the other. So it's kind of like a full circle, allowing the sun's energy, because the sun's actually out this morning, which is a beautiful thing, which sometimes we don't get. It freaking snowed so much near me yesterday. It was the worst. You may hear some ambient noises in the background. I do not own the rights to any of that music, so relax, Facebook. Don't tune me out, please. So, welcome to 9 a.m. Flow. It is officially 9 a.m., so let us begin, yeah? Today is going to be all about flowing with that sunlight and using that beautiful sun's energy that is shining directly in my face right now to get us all energized to go throughout our day today with a little bit more pep in our step. Hopefully it gets a little bit warmer out. It's once again, that snow yesterday was very, very defeating. I had a giant fire last night to celebrate, kind of. So we're going to begin in Tadasana, if you haven't begun so already, using the Pushan Mudra, which is an homage to the sun god and the god of nourishment. So once again, your right hand can look like this. So with the middle and the index finger, they're pointer finger meeting the thumb, the other two fingers extended. I wish I could get them to look, you could do it like that, yeah, that's a little bit neater in my opinion. So, and then the other hand looking like this, like a little mouth. So using that Pushan Mudra, standing tall in your Tadasana. Good morning, Stephanie. So using that Pushan Mudra to stand super duper tall. Take a deep breath in through the nose, and a long exhale out through the nose. With every inhale in this Tadasana, starting standing, to get once again nice and energized, you can pedal out your legs if you need to. Do a little bit of like a side to side with your hips, all the way up to your shoulders. And then inhaling. Every time you inhale, you get nice and tall with the crown of the head. And as you exhale, soften the shoulders away from the ears. Taking a moment to come into your body this morning. So with this Pushan Mudra, which is an homage to the sun god, Once again, right hand, left hand. You can use this or not. It's just kind of something fun to stimulate the energy within you if you're having a slow morning. Alrighty. Wherever you are, you can release both of those hands. Flex the fingers wide. Inhale the arms up to frame the head. Relax the shoulders away from the ears on the exhale. Inhale, get tall to the crown of the head. Exhale, bow forward, forward fold over those legs. Inhale up for that halfway lift. Nice flat back. Exhale and release. Inhale, come all the way up. Sweep the arms up. Bring the hands right down through heart center. Inhale, the arms open. Nice big capital T. Arms out nice and wide. Make a huge wingspan. Maybe even bring the arms back for like almost a hyperextension of the shoulder joint. Oh, there's my kitty. She's come to join us. Exhale, round through. Bring the fingertips to touch. Kind of tuck the chin in toward the chest. Inhale, widen and broaden across the chest. Open that wingspan. Maybe look up a little bit. Exhale, round through the shoulders. Tuck the chin in. Bring the fingertips to touch in front of you. Inhale, widen. Exhale, come forward. Tuck the chin into the chest. Inhale, open. Exhale, relax the arms down to your sides. Palms facing out. Come back to that Tadasana. Stare at the sun if you can, because I certainly am, and it's the only thing that's energizing me right now. So, inhale those arms up to frame the head. Exhale, relax the shoulders away from the ears. Nice energy through all 10 fingers. Inhale up, look up with your hands. Exhale, forward fold over your legs. Inhale up for that halfway lift. Nice flat back. And then exhale, release. Plant the hands, step it back to that upper push-up position. From upper push-up position, you're going to hold here. Let's build a little bit of heat. If you need to lower your back knees down and untuck the toes so the tops of the feet rest against the mat, that's absolutely fine. You're still getting the same workout so long as you are engaging those core muscles and drawing the navel in toward the spine. Like pretending that you're having a photo taken, or if you're on the beach, suck that core in. Right? Wouldn't it be nice if we were all on the beach right now instead of in our homes? So, prepare for that. In your plank position, you're holding strong. You're still breathing. You're building heat. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. On your next exhale, bend the elbows in toward the side bodies. Lower all of the way down. Untuck the toes when you arrive. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Draw the heels together. Inhale up for a very gentle little baby cobra. First one of the day. Exhale and release. Tuck the toes. Push up through hands and knees. Or if you plank, tuck the toes. And then, if you haven't already, and then lift the hips. So coming into that first down dog of the day. If you have done a down dog before this time of the day, I salute you. So, in this first down dog of the day, pedal out your feet. Nod your head yes, shake it no. Check in with your hands, make sure you are sealing all 10 fingers to the mat, really pouring the weight into the index and thumb side to take that weight and pressure off of the base of your wrist. So we'll build a little bit of heat here, and then my goal ultimately for this class is to get you guys to really feel like you are flowing beautifully, almost like a dance. So we'll build a little bit of heat and then get into some more complicated stuff. So you're in that down dog, correct? We'll do a couple of sun A's since I'm facing the sun. On inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, step, walk, or jump, feet to hands. You're in that nice forward fold. Inhale up for that halfway lift, nice flat back. And then exhale to release. Inhale, come all the way up. Sweep the arms up and forward fold right back down over those legs. Back into that forward fold. Inhale up for that halfway lift. Nice flat back there. Arms can fly back behind you or they can come to the tops of your thighs. Exhale and release. Plant the hands. Step it back to upper push-up position. Begin to hold. Build that heat. Draw the navel into the spine. Imagine beach days. On your next exhale, bend the elbows in toward the side body, lower all of the way down, untuck the toes when you arrive, draw the heels together, inhale up through the core, exhale, release. Maybe take your arms off of the mat, spider fingers, so your fingertips just touch the ground off of the mat, and then you inhale up again. Exhale to release. Bring the hands back in toward the side bodies. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, send it on back to your downward dog again. On an inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, step, walk, or jump. Feet to hands. In that beautiful forward fold, you inhale up for that halfway lift. And then exhale to release. Inhale, come all the way up. Sweep the arms up. Sit back to chair. Lowering the hips into a nice invisible chair. Your hands can be at heart center. Your hands can come out in front of you for a counterbalance. They can be at your hips. They can be above framing the head. If they are above framing the head, just make sure that you're relaxing those shoulders away from the ears so you're not looking like this. You want nice relaxed shoulders, yeah? So wherever your hands might be right now, sink a little bit lower into that chair, really firing up those quads. Sit nice and light through the toes. Draw that core in to protect the low back. One more deep inhale. And as you exhale, straighten the legs, forward fold over those legs. Inhale up for that nice flat back. And then exhale to release. Plant the hands, step it back to upper push-up position. Flow through your vinyasa. That's Sun A that I mentioned a little bit earlier today. So holding that plank position, wrists are stacked under the shoulders, heels are over the toes. Holding, drawing the core in, staying really strong here, building that heat, continuing to breathe in and out the nose. On the exhale, you bend the elbows in toward the side bodies and lower all of the way down in one piece. Untuck the toes when you arrive. Take the arms off for spider arms. Take the arms off the mat, rather. And fingertips can come to the earth for spider arms if you'd like. Or you can hover the hands where they are in close to the side bodies. Hover them above the mat. And all these arm variations are doing for you is allowing you to engage the core as you inhale to lift the chest up a little bit and then exhale to release. Plant those hands again if they are lifted. Tuck the toes and send the hips back, going back into that down dog. Back in this down dog again. We'll do that one more time. Yes? On an inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, step, walk, or jump, feet to hands. In that nice forward fold to the top of your mat, you inhale up to that halfway lift, and then exhale to release. Inhale, come all the way up, sweep the arms up to frame the head, bring the hands right down through heart center, forward fold back over those legs. Inhale up for that halfway lift. And exhale to release. Plant the hands, step it back to upper push-up position. We're flowing through this vinyasa one more time. So from that plank position, you're holding, inhaling deep through the core to activate it. And then on your next exhale, you're going to bend the elbows in toward the side body, lower down to the mat in one piece. Untuck the toes when you arrive. Draw the heels together. Inhale up for that little baby cobra. And then exhale, release. Push up through hands and knees. Come up to tabletop position instead of that down dog. So you draw the knees in underneath the hip points, and then you go ahead and look at your wrists. Make sure they are stacked underneath your shoulders. Press the tops of the feet into the mat and come into a couple of circles here. So moving back, lowering the hips over the ankles. And on the inhale, you pull with your hands and bring the chest and the heart space forward to the top of the mat. Exhale, lower the hips. Inhale, drawing forward. Exhale. It doesn't matter what direction you're going, as long as you're making these nice circular movements. Just kind of getting into the hips a little bit more here. And the next time you're forward at the top of your mat, go ahead and reverse the other way. So lowering the hips down over the ankles. Inhale to draw forward. Exhale, coming back. Lowering the hips over the heels. Inhale to come forward to the top of your mat. Exhale, lowering the hips over the heels. Take the knees nice and wide. Bring the big toes to touch if they can, and then crawl the hands out even closer to the top of your mat, lowering all of the way down for a nice child's pose here. If you'd like a block for your forehead, that's always an option. Surrendering yourself to the mat for a brief moment before we really start flowing here. On an inhale, look up between your hands. Go ahead and begin to pull yourself forward. Bring the knees back in underneath the hip points. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, send it on back. In your down dog here, nod your head yes, shake it no. Inhale up to both tippy toes. Exhale, glide forward to upper push-up position. Hold here, and on the next exhale, you send the hips back. Inhale up, glide forward. Exhale, send the hips back. On an inhale, raise the right leg to hip height, bend at the knee, open the hips, stay nice and flexed through that right ankle, look in between the hands on an inhale, and the exhale, sweep that right foot right on through, coming up, setting up your base, which is this nice low lunge. Do not pour the weight onto your front left foot. Stay up on the back toes of the left, and when you have this base set up with feet in 2 different lanes to maintain balance, you inhale and come ahead and come all the way up for a full crescent this morning. If you'd like to take that mudra again, you absolutely may. So left hand like this, middle finger and ring finger touching the thumb, and in the right hand, the mudra is taking the middle finger and the pointer finger toward the thumb. So it's 2 different positions, 2 different mudras to help to celebrate the sun god. The sun is certainly shining today, so it was perfectly appropriate. So in this lovely crescent lunge, if you are assuming the position of this mudra, your arms can still be up, framing the head. They can be down in cactus. If you have chosen to forego the mudra, your hands can be at your hips. Wherever they are, track that front hip back. Lift the back leg. Lift the knee a little bit higher. Sometimes that knee can tend to sink and bend. Straighten that leg. Draw the inner thighs together. Inhale, both arms up to frame the head. Release the mudra. Look up in between the hands. Place the hands down to frame that front foot. Hike the left back foot halfway up the mat, coming into pyramid. Track the right hip back again, squaring the hips to the front of the mat. If you'd like to take your hands to that front right ankle to make it more of a balanced pose, you absolutely can. Blocks are always an option here too. Wherever you are, inhale up for a nice halfway lift, and then exhale, forward fold over that front right leg. Bring the left foot up to meet the right. Now you're back in that forward fold, right? So from that forward fold, you inhale up for that halfway lift, nice flat back there, and then you exhale to release. Inhale, come all the way up, sweep the arms up, and then exhale, forward fold, right back down. Plant the hands, step it back to upper push-up position. From upper push-up position, if you need to lower the knees down, you absolutely can. Holding strong with the wrists stacked under the shoulders. The heels are stacked over the toes. On your next exhale, bend the elbows in toward the side body, lower all of the way down in one piece. Untuck the toes when you arrive if you haven't already. Once again, flowing through this vinyasa. You inhale up for that little baby cobra, and then you exhale to release. Tuck the toes, send the hips right on back. And now you're back in that down dog. So let's do that same thing again on the left side. So from that down dog, you're going to inhale that right leg up to hip height, bend at the knee, and open the hips. Stay nice and flexed through that left foot. On inhale, look between the hands. Exhale, sweep that foot right on through in between the hands, setting up your base for this crescent lunge with the left foot forward. So your feet are in 2 different lanes, and once you're ready with that base, then you inhale. Go ahead and come all the way up, taking the mudra if you so choose to. Track that left hip back. Find some height in the back thigh, the back right thigh, yeah? Drawing those inner thighs together. Drawing that core, checking with that to protect that low back. Look up. That is an intensification. You do not have to do that if that is uncomfortable for your neck or if that makes you lose your balance. Inhale, reach the arms up, release the mudra. Exhale, bring the hands down to frame the front foot. Hike the right foot halfway up the mat, coming into pyramid with the left foot forward. Track the left hip back so that squares your hips to the front of the mat, yeah? Taking your hands to the front left ankle if you want more balance here. Breathing deeply, feeling the sensation in the hips. This is a nice way to get into the hips without doing something intense like pigeon, in my opinion, in the beginning of a class. Wherever you are, inhale up for that halfway lift, hover the hands, and then exhale, forward fold, deeper over that leg. Bring the right foot up to meet the left. Now you're back in that forward fold again. Inhale up for that halfway lift. Exhale and release. Inhale, come all the way up, sweeping those arms up to frame the head, look up with the hands, and then exhale, forward fold, bring the hands down through heart center. Heel toe the feet out past hip distance. Grab opposite elbows and go ahead and sway and ragdoll. Release the hands to the mat, heel toe the feet back in underneath the hip points. Inhale up for the halfway lift, and then exhale, release. Plant the hands, step the feet back to upper push-up position. Flowing through this vinyasa. You're holding here for as long as you'd like. You can incorporate push-ups here if you'd like from plank. Just make sure that you're really engaging that core and lifting those hips a little bit so that your hips aren't sagging, which causes an exaggerated lower lumbar curve. If you haven't already, on your exhale, bend the elbows and toward the side, bodies lower all of the way down to the mat in one piece, untuck the toes. Inhale up for that little baby cobra. And then exhale to release. Tuck the toes, send the hips back. Welcome back to down dog. Inhale up to both tippy toes and flow on the exhale forward. Hold for an inhale at plank. And then exhale, send the hips back. Inhale up to both tippy toes. Exhale, lower the heels over to the right. Ooh, beautiful side stretch. Goodness. Lift those hips a little bit higher to intensify. Inhale back up through center, and then exhale, lower the heels to the left. Lift those hips a little bit higher to intensify. Inhale back up through center. And then exhale, lower the heels closer to the mat. On inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, step, walk, or jump, feet to hands. Inhale up for that halfway lift. And then exhale to release. Inhale, come all the way up, sweep those arms up, sit the hips right back into chair again. So arms can be out in front for that counterbalance. They can come to heart center. They can be on your hips, or they can be up to frame your head, or down at cactus. If you'd like to take that mudra again, you absolutely can. So you're in this lovely chair position. If you'd like more here, you can lift up to the tippy toes. So lifting the heels, which makes it super duper balance oriented in this chair. Lowering the hips. Woo. Hello, quads. One more deep inhale through the core. Release the mudra if you have it. And then exhale. Extend the legs, forward fold over those legs. You inhale up for that halfway lift. And then exhale to release. Plant the hands, step back to upper push-up position, flowing through your vinyasa, rinsing off that chair. Bend the elbows in toward the side bodies as you lower down to the mat in one piece. Untuck the toes, bring the heels together. Inhale up, little baby cobra. Exhale, release. Tuck the toes, go up through hands and knees, or through plank, send the hips right back to down dog. In your down dog, nod the head yes, shake it no. From this down dog, on inhale, lift the right leg to hip height, bend at the knee, open up those hips. Stay nice and flex through that right foot. Look in between your hands. Begin to bring the right leg through, almost as if you were going to bring the right foot in between the hands, but you're going to extend it out off of the mat, and then open the left hand up for a nice ball and triangle. Place the left hand back down, bring the right leg back up to that hip height, and we'll do that once more. So bring the right foot up as if it were coming in between the hands, then send it out to the side of the mat, off the mat, open up for a beautiful triangle. Inhale, bring that leg back up to hip height, bend at the knee, open the hips. On an inhale, look between your hands. And then exhale, bring that foot back in between both hands. Set up your low lunge. Inhaling up for that nice crescent lunge. Swivel the back heel down, open right on up for warrior two. Flip the front palm, inhale, bring it back. Exhale. Relax there. Inhale, come forward, bring the right elbow to the right knee, and then extend the left arm up. Side angle pose. Sending energy through both hands. Nice active arms here. If you'd like to take the left top hand to the small of the low back to really open up that chest and stack the shoulders, you can. If you'd like to look up at the ceiling, it's a lovely intensification. If you'd like more, try closing your eyes. Wherever you are, look down at your front right knee, bend into it a little bit deeper, pop right up off of that, come back into your warrior two, flip the front palm, inhale, bring it back, exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame the front foot, come up to the toes of the back, you're back in that low lunge position. Lower the back knee down, untuck the toes, and then rise up for that beautiful modified crescent. Good morning, Emily. Wow, you're in it. Nice to see ya. So, from this modified crescent lunge, let's get into a little bit of flow here. So, you inhale up to get tall. As you exhale, plant the hands down to frame the front foot and extend the right leg back. Flexing that front right ankle, coming into a little bit of a runner's lunge here. On an inhale, re-bend that front right knee. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bring the hands down to frame the front and extend the right left leg, flexing the right ankle. Inhale, rebend and rise. Exhale, plant and extend. So to your own breath, flowing through this beautiful motion, really flowing. Linking the breath to movement. As you inhale, you bend and rise. Exhale, plant the hands and extend the front right leg. On an inhale, last time, rebend that front knee. Pause here, hands are up to frame the back leg. What I'd like you to do from here, we're going to come right into pigeon. A little bit different. We're getting right into those hips this morning. So you're going to heel toe the right leg all the way over. So the right foot is coming to the left edge of the mat. You're going to lower that shin down. And your back leg, you're going to crawl it back away from you. And the more you actually crawl those toes back and away from you, the more intense this hip stretch will be. So coming into this half pigeon, if this causes you any knee pain, bring the right foot in toward the pelvis. And if you want more of a hip stretch, you can try to make that shin parallel with the top of the mat. Listen to your body. This is very early in the class to be doing this intense hip opener. So really breathe deeply through the nose. And when you're ready, you can lower down to your degree. If you'd like a pillow or a block for your forehead, it's a wonderful option. You can come down to your forearms. You can lower your forehead all the way to the mat, but if I do that, you won't be able to hear me talk. So, begin to breathe. This lovely half pigeon's getting into piriformis since we've all been seated so much. Maybe some of you are experiencing some strange sciatic pains that go all the way down your leg. This is a wonderful stretch that you can do to combat that. With every inhale, you're sending new oxygen and new blood and new breath to that outer right hip. With every exhale, you soften that right hip. Because Lord knows, for me, it's super tight right now, so breathing into that is a beautiful way to bring some softness to that hip in that area. Keep breathing. On an inhale, begin to crawl your hands back in towards your pelvis. Tuck the back toes, so the back left toes get tucked. You come up off of that back knee because you're going to bring the right hip back, sending the right leg right back to meet the left. Tuck those toes, lift the hips, coming into that down dog. stay in stillness in this down dog. Feel the difference between your right and left legs. My right certainly feels longer than the left, that's for sure. All right, let's do that whole thing on the left. Yay! On an inhale, raise the left leg. Raise the left leg to hip height on an inhale. Bend the knee, flex through that left ankle. On an inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, bring the left leg forward. Then send the left foot off the mat, opening up, lifting the right arm for that triangle. And then bringing it back, bending at the knee again for that three-legged dog. One more time, inhale, look between the hands. Exhale, glide that leg through. Send the left foot off the mat, and then lower the right hand down. Rebending into that three-legged dog. On an inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, bring the left foot up in between the hands. Set up that low lunge base. Then inhale to rise. Choosing that mudra if you'd like to. Ooh. Weebly wobbles are definitely a normal thing. Track that front hip back. Engage through the core. Get nice and tall through the crown of the head. Maybe look up as a nice intensification. Release the mudra if you haven't already. Swivel the back heel down, open right on up for warrior two. Inhale, flip the front palm. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, bend into that front knee a little more. Inhale, come back forward. Exhale, bring the left elbow to the left knee. Coming into side angle on the left. If you'd like to take the top of the right hand to the small of the back to stack those shoulders, look up toward the ceiling if you'd like to intensify. And if you'd like more here, you can close your eyes. Breathing deeply into this side angle pose. If you want more of an ab workout, you can bring both arms forward to the top of your mat. Look down toward your left leg. Bounce back up on an inhale for warrior two. Inhale, flip that front palm. Exhale, bring it back. Cartwheel the hands down to frame the front left foot. Come up to the toes of the back. Lower the back knee down. Untuck the toes. Coming back into this beautiful flow motion, yeah? So on an inhale, you rise up for that modified crescent with the back knee down. And then exhale, lower the hands down to frame the front foot and extend. Lowering the hips over the right ankle. Coming into that runner's lunge with the left foot forward. Once again, inhale to rebend that knee. Rise up. Exhale. Frame the front foot. Send the hips back. Extend the left leg. Inhale, rebend. Rise. Exhale. Lower. Extend. Inhale. Flowing to your breath. If you need to pause and hang out in runner's lunge, or if you need to pause and hang out in the modified crescent, risen, you can do that too. Listening to your body, doing what feels right for you in this time. All right, so pause back with your hands framing that front left foot, because now we're going to come into half pigeon on the left. So you're going to heel toe that left foot all the way over to the right edge of your mat. Lower the shin down. Reach back with that right leg. So you kind of like reach back with your toes. Ooh, I can definitely tell you that this side is a lot tighter than the other one. So if you're noticing that one side is tighter than the other, breathe. Don't bring judgment to that hip. It is what it is. Breathe into it. Try to soften it with every exhale. And as you inhale, remember that you're sending new blood and new oxygen, new nutrients to that left hip. And then when you're ready, you may lower down to your degree. Coming into this half pigeon on the left. Breathing into that outer left hip. When you're ready, on inhale, crawl the hands back in toward the pelvis. Tuck the back right toes. Lift up off that back leg. Send the left leg back to meet the right. Send the hips back nice and tall. Coming back into your down dog. Inhale up to both tippy toes. Glide forward to upper push-up position. And then exhale, send the hips back. On an inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, step, walk, or jump, feet to hands. You inhale up for that halfway lift. And then exhale to release. Inhale, come all the way up. Sweep those arms up. Sit the hips right back to chair. Coming into your invisible chair once more. So in this invisible chair, I like my hands at this counterbalance. It's my personal favorite. Engage through that core. Relax the shoulders away from the ears, especially if your arms are up framing your head. Really make sure you're focusing on softening the skin on the tops of the shoulders and the muscles as well. Lowering deeper into that chair. Check in with that core, protect the low back. One more deep inhale, tall to the crown of the head. Exhale, extend the legs, forward fold. Inhale up for that halfway lift. Exhale and release. Plant the hands, step it back to upper push-up position. Flow through your vinyasa. Bend the arms in toward the side bodies, lower all the way down, untuck the toes when you arrive. Inhale up for a little baby cobra. Exhale to release. Push up through hands and knees. Take the knees nice and wide, big toes to touch. Send the hips back. Come into a nice child's pose. I love bringing you into child's pose or into a pose of rest because it means I get to sip some water. Good morning, Renee. How are you? In that child's pose, your forehead is surrendered to the earth. Arms are extended long. Hello, kitty. From this child's pose, begin on an inhale to pull yourself back up through hands and knees. Bring the knees back and under the hips. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, send it right on back. Let's get into a little bit more flow here. On an inhale, raise the right leg to hip height. Bend at the knee, open the hips. On an inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, bring the right foot forward. And then you're going to send it off the side of the mat. Lift up with the left arm for that revolved triangle. Plant the left hand back down. Bring the right leg back to that hip height behind you. Bend at the knee again. Stay nice and flexed through that right ankle. Maybe even flip the dog if you'd like to. Bring the right hand back down to meet the mat. Inhale the right leg up. Hip height. On an inhale, look between the hands. Exhale, bring that right leg right on through. Setting up this nice low lunge position. And then when you're ready, inhale to rise. Arms are up. Track that front hip back. Draw the inner thighs together. Stay nice and light. As light as you can. Inhale the arms up. Swivel the back heel down. Open on up for warrior two. Here, flip the front palm. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, come back. Warrior two. Straighten that front leg. Reach, 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 reach. And then send the left hip back. And then go ahead. Hinge at the hip, coming into your triangle. Look down at your front right leg. Rebend into that front right knee. And then rise. Stack the shoulders back over the hips. Inhale, flip the front palm. Exhale, bring it back. Cartwheel the hands down to frame the front foot. Bring the right foot back to meet the left. So you're going back right into down dog here, yeah? Beautiful. All right, let's do that all on the left. On an inhale, left leg to hip height. Bend at the knee. Open the hips. Look in between the hands on an inhale. Exhale, bring that foot through. Send the left foot off the side of the mat. Bring the right hand up, opening up the chest, stacking the shoulders for that revolved triangle. Bring the hand back down. Send the left leg back. Bend at the knee again. Go ahead and inhale. Look in between the hands. Bring that left leg through again. Lift up. Stack the shoulders. replant that right hand. Go ahead and send the left leg back again. Maybe even flip the dog. Ha-ha. Bring the left hand back. Left leg is still extended. Whew, I just slid off my mat there. On an inhale, between your hands, exhale, bring that left foot right on through. Setting up this nice low lunge position. Then you inhale to rise, stacking the shoulders over the hips. Maybe taking the mudra if you'd like. Once again, this Pushna mudra, which is a salute to the sun. Let's bring that sun into our lives, shall we? Track the left hip back. Stay nice and light. Inhale, look up. Arms up to frame the head. Swivel the back heel down. Open on up for warrior two here. Flip the front palm. Inhale, bring it back. Straighten the front leg. Reach back. Forward. Send the right hip back. Begin to hinge over the left hip. Coming into your triangle on the left. Look down at your front left leg. Begin to rebend into that left knee. Inhale, rise back up for that warrior two. Flip the front palm. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame the front foot. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Back in that down dog. On an inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, step, walk, or jump, feet to hands. Inhale up for that halfway lift. Nice flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, come all the way up. Sweep the arms up. Bring the hands down to heart center. Shake it out a little bit. That was definitely a very interesting, intense flow for me. Talking through it while I'm doing it is always such an interesting experience. Once again, inhale those arms up to frame the head, look up. Exhale, forward fold over those legs. Heel to the feet out past hip distance. Grab the opposite elbows and sway in ragdoll. We'll come into a little bit more flow here. So you're going to release the hands, place the fingertips on the earth. Hi, kitty. All right, let's bend those hips very deeply, lowering into a malasana. You can bring those hands to heart center, pressing the elbows into the knees, bring the knees in toward the midline at the same time, gives you that resistance, which makes you nice and tall. Release the fingertips to the earth. Go ahead, and so if you just, when you release your hands from your heart center, bring the fingertips down to the earth, and your elbows are still glued right to the inner knee there, yeah? So you're still touching that inner knee. And then go ahead and bring the hands back to heart center. And then go ahead and release, bring the fingertips to the earth. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and begin to send your weight forward, seal the hands to the mat. If you'd like to pop up into crow at this time, you absolutely can. So by doing that, that's why I asked you to keep your elbows and the inner knees glued together, because that'll make it a little bit easier to transition into that crow. Nice little forearm stand. It's an interesting balance of lifting the toes and the heels, and at the same time also lifting the heart, because if you don't lift the heart space in that crow, you could face plant. So be very careful. If crow is in your practice, please go ahead and pop up into it. If not, just keep practicing that malasana squat by pushing the elbows into the knees and getting nice and tall. Release those fingertips to the earth. If you're in that crow, go ahead and lower the feet back down and come right on down to a nice seated position. Extend those legs nice and long in front of you. Nice flexed feet. Inhale the arms up to frame the head, and then exhale, forward fold over the legs. On an inhale, go ahead, rise back up, stack the shoulders over the hips. Take the legs nice and wide off of the mat. Do a little bit of middle splits here. So, legs are nice and wide off of the mat. You can flex through those ankles if you'd like. And then go ahead and crawl down to your degree. If this is enough for you and you don't want to crawl down, then stay there. So long as you're feeling it in your hips and in your inner thighs, that's what we're looking for here, right? So, crawling down to your degree. Breathing so deeply here. In through the nose, out through the nose. On an inhale, wherever you are right now, crawl those hands back in towards your pelvis, stacking the shoulders over the hips. We'll do a little bit more here. We'll get into some side body work here. Yes, I know, kitty. Inhale the arms out parallel with the legs. So you're in that nice capital T position. And then we're going to bring the left hand to the outer right hip, and then bring the right hand over, reaching over toward those left toes as much as you can. You can look up at the ceiling. That gives a more intense side body stretch. Breathing deeply here. To come out of this, you're going to swing your right hand down through the middle, release the left hand from the right thigh, and go ahead and crawl over to the right leg. Bring the right hand to the top of the left thigh, and then the right hand comes right over. So this is going to be our next little flow segment here, where you're going to link your breath to your movement and do this on your own. So you inhale deeply, and on your exhale you release, crawl through center, and then go over to the other side. Inhale deeply. Exhale here, relaxing a little bit deeper into the side stretch. One more deep inhale, and then you exhale. Crawl back through center, over to the other side. Breathing deeply. One more deep inhale, and then you exhale. Come back through center. Now you're back in that nice middle split position, right? So from here, now you're going to crawl your hands back up, stacking the shoulders over the hips. Go ahead and take your hands to the outer edges of your knees. Close them like a book. Help them close. That was some super intense middle stretch work. Give your legs a little pitter patter. Maybe a little windshield wiper here. Come back to stillness. Beautiful. Begin to bring your knees in toward your chest. Bring the soles of your feet to touch. Open the knees like a book. So you're going to take your hands and interlace them and then hold onto your toes. Get nice and tall here. And on your exhale, you're going to bow forward. This is not about rounding through the shoulders. It's about maintaining a beautiful flat back. So for that, think about bringing the belly button to the big toe. Stay nice and spread through the collarbones. The heart is lifted, even though you're getting a little bit deeper into this hip stretch. Slowly release that. Rise back up, stacking shoulders over hips. Release those toes. Bring the legs out long once again in front of you. Nice flexion in the feet. We'll do a couple of twists, and then we'll lower down. So we're unwinding here at this point, yeah? So on an inhale, bring the right leg up and over the left. So you're going to cross the ankle over the knee and seal the right foot to the mat. You inhale to get nice and tall through the spine, creating space. Stay flexed through that left front foot. And then you're going to exhale, twist to the right. The left elbow comes to the right knee. The right fingertips come back behind you. One more deep inhale. And on the exhale, you can unwind, straighten the right leg out to meet the left, crisscross the left leg over the right. Inhale the arms up to frame the head, and then exhale, twist to the left. One more deep inhale, and then exhale, coming back through center. Uncross the left leg from the right, and both legs are back parallel toward the front of your mat. Inhale the arms up, parallel. Begin to scoop out the core. And on every exhale, you lower down. On every inhale, you pause and hold, right? Exhale, lower. Inhale, pause, and hold. And then you lower all of the way down. Once you've lowered all of the way down to the mat, inhale the arms up to frame the head kind of in a way. Now your shoulders are on the ground. And you point those big toes forward for a nice full body stretch. And then lower the arms down along the sides. And take a moment of rest here. On your next inhale, bring your knees in toward your chest. Roll around in a little ball from side to side. If you'd like to reach down in between your legs for a little happy baby, you can grab the outer edges of your feet and roll from side to side. Whatever you need right now to complete your practice, I invite you to do so. Whether you need a shoulder stand, a bridge, a wheel, maybe more supine twists, bring the knees over to one side, arms out in a capital T. You have a couple of options. And wherever you are, taking these last few minutes to do whatever poses you need to truly cool down, unwind. A nice one is just from your back, lifting both legs up toward the ceiling and letting all that energy drain right back down to you from that practice that you just did. I know, kitty. Aren't they doing a good job? Wherever you are at this time, lower your legs down, extending them long. Your feet splay open naturally. Your arms are down along your sides. If you'd like to place one hand on your stomach and one hand on your heart at this time, you may do so. If you would like to try to hold the mudra, you can. So that mudra once again is this guy. Right hand. It's like making the capiche sign. So you have your middle finger and pointer finger on the right hand, meeting the thumb. Pinky and ring are together. Left hand, making a little duck mouth. So the middle finger and the ring finger meeting the thumb, like a little I love you sign almost. So this is what your hands look like two little characters. And once again, this is the Pushan Mudra, which is a salute to the sun god. The sun isn't shining as brightly as when we first started, but it's definitely still there, and I hope that it remains there. I swear to the holy Jeebus, if it snows again, I will be very upset. So taking these last few moments of rest. This moment of Shavasana will be a moment of silence. I will bring you out of it with my voice in a couple of minutes. So, let's check in with your jaw. Bring the tip of the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. And on your next exhale, relax the space between the eyes. Your eyes can close if you'd like, or they can remain open. Feel the shoulders melt into the earth. Feel the belly rise and fall. Together, take a breath in through the nose and a long exhale out the nose. And I will see you on the other side of Shavasana. if you are still holding this Pushan Mudra, and if not, just focus on the direction that I'm reading from this beautiful book. During inhalation, take in energy in the form of light. During the pause in breathing, give it the time and space it needs to spread within you and become transformed. You're transmuting that light and that breath into energy and prana, energy, life force. During exhalation, let the expended energy flow back out of you. With every breath, there is more light and clarity in your physical and mental emotional realms. Every time you breathe, you're bringing in new energy. The only thing that we have control over is our breath. Wherever you are in this Shavasana right now, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, bringing movement back to your hands and your legs. When you're ready, go ahead and roll over to your right side. Pause there for a moment. When you're ready, using your hands and arms, push yourself up to a seated position. Your hands can be on your knees. They can be at heart center with the thumbs pressing into the heart space. Or you can take that mudra once more for a final time, letting the backs of the hands rest on the tops of the knees. Together, take a breath in and a long sigh out. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. It's truly an honor to be able to bring this to the community in a time when I can't get out there and see all of you. I can't get out there and teach you, but I can still reach you through the internet, which is wonderful. And I am deeply grateful for that. I love seeing all of your names pop up whenever I tune in. Thank you so much for the support. If you'd like to learn about different other yoga classes that Balance Webster has to offer, go to the website, balancewebster.com. So, release that mudra. Bring your hands into your heart center. Bow your head to your heart. Lift your heart to your head. Bring the two closer together. The light and the truth in me sees that and honors it in each of you. Namaste. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Once again, we do have a very wide variety of classes from a mixture of, we have a Pilates yoga class, we have dance classes that we're offering, so many different ways, different flow classes, we have restorative, we have meditations that happen quite often. Go to that website and see what you can find, just different ways to stay loose and to stay moving during this great pause. I will be back next week. Hopefully I will be up this weekend doing more music, but next week I will be teaching Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. for Align and Meditate, and then again Thursday 9 a.m. for Flow. So I will see y'all this weekend and next week. Thank you so much, guys. I love you.